Hey everybody, this is Dr. William Clark for the Dr. William Clark Podcast. Glad to be with you for another episode. This is the podcast where we talk about all things fundraising, leadership, strategy in the world of nonprofits. You've come to the right place if this is what you want to talk about and study, and I'm so glad to have you as a part of the show. Now, before we jump into the show, we are going to talk about how do I find grants for my nonprofit. This is like the hot topic everybody wants to talk about, particularly with newbies. And so we'll address it today. We're going to talk about how to find grants for your nonprofit. But before we do that, I do want to introduce you and invite you to join my mastermind and my masterclass, What You Should Know Before You Apply for Grants. If you are new, if you're looking to go to the next level, if you're looking to grow your nonprofit organization or your knowledge of how to build a nonprofit, build a program, and get it funded, fully funded, this is the mastermind and masterclass group for you. In this mastermind group, you get access to me and the students that we're teaching. I coach live every month talking about leadership, strategy, and fundraising concepts that you can deploy right now for your nonprofit. You get access also to my 60-plus video library of me teaching on the concepts of the 3 secrets to raising serious money. You also get access to the tools, tips, and tricks that I use every day to fundraise. If this is what you need and you need coaching, support, guidance, direction, and you have a small budget, I have created this mastermind and masterclass group just for you. It's affordable, and you can join us today by going to nonprofitfundingstrategies.com. Again, that's nonprofitfundingstrategies.com. So with that being said, I want to jump into the show. How do I find grants for my nonprofit? This is the question everybody wants to ask as soon as they think they got an idea for a nonprofit, as soon as they find out they get their 501c3 status approved, as soon as they register with the state. How do I get grant funding? How do I get up and running? And before I jump into the answer to this, one of the things I want to focus on, at least draw your attention to, is this: that when you start a nonprofit, when you build a nonprofit, I want those of you who are new to get out of the mindset of believing that you're going to get grants immediately. That's number one. But then number two, I want you to focus on this other concept. And this other concept is this: that when you are pursuing funding and you're trying to strategize ways to develop and cultivate funding, please do not do so with the intent of buying stuff and giving stuff away. All right. So while a lot of people like to do that as their opening introduction to the community, and I certainly get the concept, what that does is it causes you to establish the wrong framework of what a nonprofit is. And many people use the term charity to describe their nonprofit. Your nonprofit is not a charity. Your nonprofit is a business structure that is designed to serve a specific population group and to fulfill a particular mission. What is that mission at hand? What are you focused on doing? And if you're focused on giving stuff away, being present in the community, volunteering all the time, and there is no compensation for your work, your organization isn't bringing in any revenue, you're doing stuff by yourself or begging volunteers to be a part of what you're doing, you're missing the whole point of running a successful business. Albeit a nonprofit, it's still a business. Generating grant revenue is designed to help you do what you do to fulfill your mission and multiply the results over and over and over again. In order to do that successfully, you got to have revenue coming in from grants and other sources so that you can pay your staff, and buy the supplies you need to actually run a program, not give stuff away, a program. Now, don't get me wrong. Giving stuff away is a part of what we do as nonprofits. It's one of the ways that we give back. Certainly the nonprofit that I lead, we do that on a regular basis. We give stuff away too, but we are focused on programs because the program that we offer, the program that we deliver, is strictly focused on providing a service, and the service is much more valuable than what we give away at specific times throughout the year. Let that sink in for a moment. The service and we deliver via our program is much more valuable than what we give away. We can give away shirt, ties, pants, suits, socks, shoes, etc., and it will never equal the cost of the program we deliver. We do workforce development, we do career counseling, we give away iPads, we give away internet access, we give away access to careers, jobs where you can support yourself and your family. The value, the dollar value of what it costs to run the program is nowhere the cost of what it means to purchase all those things we give away. On top of that, the job one of our clients obtain is valued much more beyond than the stuff we would give away multiple times over. So the services you provide through your program are much more valuable. Now, to answer the question, how do I find grants for my nonprofit? There are a couple of strategies you can pursue. The two strategies most people are familiar with is connecting to a list serve or targeting a funder and following their funding release schedule. That's what most people do. A listserv is a database where you go to find grants, etc., and you see a list of grants and you pursue them, all that good stuff. And then you also can go to target grants where target funders rather in your community where you can focus on their release schedule and then get yourself in position to earn a grant there. Now, the strategy that I want to point you to, and this is what we teach inside the masterclass, is the strategy of leveraging partnerships. I can't tell you. First of all, partnerships is the fastest way to raise money. It's one of the 3 secrets we teach in depth inside the masterclass, but partnerships is indeed the most effective way to raise money. If you're looking to raise money today, tomorrow, next year, next month, next decade, your partners are going to be critical. Why does that matter? Partners help you leverage resources, and oftentimes partners help you leverage exposure to grants that you may not have any perspective into or insight into. Partners give you insight into funders that you may not be exposed to. Funders give you exposure to grant dollars that you may not have heard of, or you've been trying to get in, but you just couldn't because you didn't know the right people, you didn't know the right cycle, you didn't know the right program, you didn't know anything. Partners are critical to this journey. If you're going to raise serious money for your organization, if you're going to diversify resources, if you're going to sustain your nonprofit and your program, partners has to be the way to go. It has to be. For mature organizations, partners are even more critical for us because it allows us to diversify revenue sources. It allows us to spread the risk of running a program. It allows us to increase the likelihood of success when running a program, increases exposure to other funding dollars. And partners help you do more, serve more, and be great. If you're by yourself and you're trying to do stuff by yourself, you're missing the point. And let me just clarify, I teach this in the masterclass, that you can't desire to partner with your best friend from high school because both of you all have nonprofits. Here's the problem. If you just are getting started and that person is just getting started, or that person hasn't generated any revenue, significant revenue off of their nonprofit or bringing in revenue for their nonprofit, they're not the right partner because they can't expose you to stuff that they don't know anything about. Well, they just got a grant for $2,500. What is $2,500 going to do for your community? What is $2,500 going to do for your partner or for your stakeholders or for your program? Listen, we celebrate grant awards big and small in our organization, but if that's all you're targeting, if that is the goal, you're missing the point of this entire podcast. We're talking about 6 figures per program, 7 figures per program, per department. 7-8 figures for your nonprofit. If this is where you're trying to go, then in context, you realize that $2,500 doesn't do anything. And in addition, it's not something you can split or share with partners. That's stuff that you use to get minimal supplies for the program. It's a small percentage of your overall budget. At the end of the day, you need partners who are about that life. You need partners who are actually doing something of substance. Partners who are making a change, making a difference in their community, and who are focused on impact. It matters who you know. It matters who your friends know, so on, and so on. If you want to learn more about this topic, if you want to go deeper in your understanding of how to fundraise, how to find grants, how to find partners, how to strategize, how to leverage funding, join me within my masterclass at nonprofitfundingstrategies.com. We will teach you how to do this stuff. You have access to all my classes, access to all my tools. You will be in the class with other students when we do our mastermind group. I'm telling you, this is the place to learn how to do this and to execute on these strategies. I would be honored to be your coach. I would be honored to help you on that journey. And I look forward to you joining, and I'm saving a seat just for you. Those of you who are watching, who are listening, I'm saving a seat just for you. Join me at nonprofitfundingstrategies.com. This is the Dr. William Clark Podcast. We'll see you in the next episode. Peace, everybody.